Good morning, children. Earlier, we have learned the third chapter about the multiples and factors. Okay, now let us move on to the fractions. So, here also you have to be very thorough with the tables, otherwise, you cannot do the sums. So, be very thorough with the tables. Whenever you have time, you learn them. Now, suppose you have a biscuit like this, and you and your brother are fighting for it. Then what do you do? Suppose you have given a small piece to your brother and you have taken a bigger piece like this. Do you agree? No. You want the bigger piece, your brother also want the bigger piece. So like that you start fighting. But if it is broken into two equal parts like this, then you can take one part, your brother can take one part. So here one whole thing is divided into two equal parts. So each part now is half. Means you are taking one part out of two parts. Your brother is taking one part out of two parts. So this division of a whole into pieces is known as a fraction. Fraction is a part of a whole. Suppose you have two biscuits like this. Then it is a collection of two biscuits. Then you can divide amongst you and your brother as one and one whole biscuit and one whole biscuit. Here you are dividing this one biscuit only into two equal parts. So a fraction may be a part of a whole or a part of a collection. So this is how you will define a fraction. Now let us see the definition of a fraction. A fraction is a part of a whole or I said it is a collection. Okay. So here I have taken a biscuit in the form of a small rectangle and I have colored half. One part I have colored. So each part is half. Here another figure is taken and divided into four equal parts. Remember, all the parts should be equal. So each part is 1/4. This is 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. In one whole, you will have four 1/4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each part is 1/4. Now moving on to the next figure, you have a bigger rectangle. It is divided into 8 parts. Okay. Now suppose you have taken 3 parts. So you are considering 3 parts out of total 8 parts. Here each fraction has 2 parts. One is the numerator and one is the denominator, and they are separated by a line called bar. So the parts you are considering, you are taking, is known as the numerator, and the total number of parts it is divided into is called as the denominator. So now you understood what is a fraction. It is a part of a whole or a collection. Now, how many types of fractions are there? Let us see. Here we are having 3 types. So, fractions whose numerators are smaller than the denominator are called proper fractions. Now, madam, you said it is fraction means it is a part. Then how can you have a bigger numerator? You will have, let us see that later on. So here in this example, 2 by 5, 2 is the numerator, 5 is the denominator. 2 is less than 5. So in all these 8 by 15, 12 by 13, etc., you find the numerator less than the denominator. So they are called as proper fraction. And what is improper? Opposite of proper? Improper means fractions whose numerators are greater than or equal to the denominator are called as improper fractions. Now, here 3 by 2. 3 parts out of each one is made into 2 parts. How can you take 3 parts out of 2 parts? Don't think like that. You can have it. I'll show the example. Here, you're having 3 parts. And you have taken 2 parts. So total how many parts are there? 3 out of 2. But here what is happening? When you have taken 2, each one is a half. This is a half, half and half. Here 3 halves are there, and out of these 3 halves, you have taken 2 parts. Isn't it? So here each is a half and you have taken 3. Isn't it? So here when you have put these two together, you got a whole. So this is 1 and half. This you can show as 1 and half. So 1 is a whole part and half is a fraction. But when you are keeping it like this, you find that there are 3 parts and each part is a half. So I think now it is clear to you. So fractions whose numerators are greater than or equal to the numerator are called improper fractions. 3 by 10, 3 by 2, 10 by 3, 15 by 4. So you can also have a fraction like 3 by 3, 3 by 3. This is also a improper fraction because both numerator and denominator are equal. Now, what is the third type? Improper fractions written as a combination of a whole number and a proper fraction is called as a mixed fraction. Just now I have shown you the example. 3 parts, when 2 are joined together, you got 1, isn't it? So 1 and half. So in this type of fractions, you will have a whole number, that is here in example I showed 1, and also a proper fraction. In the proper fraction, you will have numerator less than the denominator. So here 3 1 by 10, 2 and half, 5 1 by 5. Suppose you are having 5 biscuits and you and your brother are sharing. So you will take 2, he will take 2. 2 plus 2, 4. One more biscuit is left. That is divided into 2 parts, 2 equal parts, that is half. So that way you can find the types of fractions. Now, there are some more types of fractions. Let us see what are there. Unit fractions. Here, just observe the examples first. 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 25. How do you find the numerators as? All the numerators in this group of fractions are 1. 1 by 2, 1 by 3. So numerator for all these fractions is 1. So if a set of fractions have the numerator as 1, then all the fractions are together called as unit fractions. Or unit fraction. 1 by 2 is a unit fraction because 1 is in the numerator. Similarly, 1 by 3, it is also a unit fraction because it is having 1 in the numerator. So let us define now. Fractions whose numerators are equal to 1 are known as unit fractions. Now, like fractions. Fractions having same denominator are called like fractions. See the example here. 1 by 7, 2 by 7, 9 by 10, 9 by 7, 10 by 7. Here all denominators are 7. So you can take them. Since all denominators are same, we call them as like fractions. Now what is the opposite of like? Unlike. So see the examples first. 1 by 2, 3 by 5, 2 by 7. All are having different numerators. So such type of fractions are called as unlike fractions. Fractions having different denominators are called as unlike fractions. So I think this is clear for you. Now, equivalent fractions. Fractions which express the value of the same part of the whole are called as equivalent fractions. Suppose you are having 1 by 2. 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is a fraction. So, suppose you are having 4 parts and you divide it into 2. So, 2 out of 4. So, 1 by 2 and 2 out of 4, such fractions where you get the equivalent fraction by multiplying the numerator and denominator by the same number, such fractions are called as equivalent fractions. So today we have introduced the fractions. So write all the definitions that are given in the video. Learn, write 2 times, learn thoroughly, because these are very, very important even for the higher classes. Thank you.